everybody, Melissa Sorrentino here, the Improv Sophisticate. And today I want to kind of get back to the very original concept for this channel, which is that I want to talk about life through the viewpoint of being an improviser, and I want to talk about improv from the point of view of just a life perspective. So today I want to say I was thinking about finding the scene along the way. Now, along the way is something that you really can't do without having like an organic path along the way. And if you're taking like a one-step approach, yes and through your scene work, then you're gonna find something along the way. And one of the things that people ask a lot about, especially when they're a little bit newer, is the concept of game. Like, how do you find a game? And I think a lot of people are thinking that they're going to like create a game. I mean, clearly you're creating. You know, if you just stood on the stage or just sat there and went, you know, nothing's gonna happen, right? But once you start, you're already on the journey. So you start with something, and then you say yes to that thing, and then yes to the next thing, and you just keep adding ands and ands. But then there's that moment that's like, like something like fun, something juicy, something interesting showed up. So then you can start to like create pattern with that thing. You start to kind of exaggerate that thing. You start to heighten the thing, which is very similar to exaggeration. And then that becomes your game in the scene. So I thought of an analogy that I think is really going to be helpful, especially for people if you've been kind of like, you know, maybe you've been in improv for a certain length of time and you're still kind of going, I really just don't feel like I find games. Think of it like this. If you are walking along the beach, okay? Let's say you're walking along the beach and like I'm from Michigan, so you're like in a northern Michigan beach and you're looking for a Petoskey stone, which is the stone that has these like little, I want to say octagon, but they're not really always an octagon or a pentagon or whatever, but there's like a shape of like these old shells, like, you know, and they've been fossilized in the Petoskey stone. Look it up. They're very beautiful. So, if you're on the hunt for a Petoskey stone, there's a couple things. One is that when you find one in the rough, you don't always recognize it. Isn't that fascinating? When you find one, it just kind of looks like a gray rock. So you have to get it wet. And then if you see the little indications of that design from the shells, then if you really want to like bring it out, you need to polish it. So, I think that's a great analogy for a game and a scene, because you're walking and you have to walk. You're not going to find a Petoskey stone sitting on your porch, you know. You have to go outside. You have to start walking. You have to make your way to the beach. You have to get to the beach and then you start walking. But all the while you're walking, you have to be observing very carefully, and really you're keeping your eye out for it. And then you're like, oh, I think I see one. And then you have to pick it up and you have to kind of like examine it. And then you have to like get it wet and see if you see the thing. And then, you know, and then you're like, okay, I'm starting to trust that this actually is the game of the scene. And then you start to buff it up and then you make it beautiful with your artistry. Now, okay, I think that's actually enough of an analogy, but let's even explore it a little bit stronger. What if you were walking along the beach looking for a Petoskey stone and you found, a diamond ring? And then you're walking along a little bit more and you're like, geez, you know, now kind of in the back of your mind, you're still looking for Petoskey stones, but you're kind of going, I found a diamond ring. I wonder if there's anything else of value out here. And then you find like a gold bracelet. And then you're like, okay, it's on. I am looking for jewelry. Somebody clearly, you know, I don't know if a treasure chest happened here or what, but now you're really, and you're kind of like, you kind of forget about the Petoskey stone, even though you thought that's what you were going to get from this journey. Like you maybe had an idea for the scene, but that's not what the scene turned out to be. Now you're on the hunt for jewelry and you're finding jewelry, right? So it's not always what you expect, but if you keep your eye out and you trust and you just really keep exploring one moment after the next until you find your scene, then there you are. So sometimes you find an unexpected scene along the way. And if you're really a wholly open, like very pure improviser that's very open, then you are always going to discover it because you're not going to go in with expectations in the first place. That doesn't mean I have low expectations. That doesn't mean I have no intention of finding something. You have an expectation to find something. You just don't know what that something is going to be until you find it. But you don't find it until you start looking for it. So look for the game in the scene. Look for the juice in the scene. Now, let's take that, and as I've been doing, let's connect it to life. Life is like that, you guys, and I'm experiencing it right now, more than I ever have before. But I was a little bit, I don't know if it's intuitive or blessed or lucky or something, or just, just the results of my upbringing. But I go through life since like forever without a super strong intention of what my goals are. I know what my goals are, but my goals are intangible. I have goals like loving, is keeping my integrity, having fun. Having fun is a big goal of mine. Feeling good, making other people smile, and encouraging people. I want to. What's a real goal that I have in my heart? A real goal. I want to live well. I want to live well. I want to experience life. I want it to be interesting and fascinating and fun. And I want to have I want to live. I want to live a good, juicy life. So even when I went to LA, I don't think I was like, hi, I want to be an Oscar-winning actress. I could say that because I decided that that's what I thought I was supposed to be saying, but it wasn't really like real to me. I really wanted to experience like the adventure of life, and I am experiencing it, and I'm happy because I'm actually achieving my goal every day that my life is interesting. So yay! Talk about keeping it simple. But I don't know if you would look at my life and say, hey, that looks like a good life to me. Clearly your life is going to be your own life. But I am here as a representative of the way that, I live my life and the way that my belief system has kind of rolled out, and what improv has brought, as that maybe I was looking for a Petoskey stone. I was looking for acting, and I found improv, and improv found me. And other things have come and gone in my life, but it's, I'm sorry to say, I have a friend that we used to joke at the improv is my boyfriend. Maybe it is. All right, you guys. I've been forgetting to ask for subscribers. I'm supposed to, I don't know. I'm just trying to challenge myself to be a little more market oriented for what it's worth. Not like you make money doing these things. 'Tis a labor of love, my friends. But yeah, I'd love it if you guys would click the subscriber button, click a like, a little thumbs up, share this with friends, just kind of expand the little community I'm trying to create here. And I do have some actual more, Petoskey stones that I put out there. I don't know what I'm going to find along the way, but I do have some specific goals, and one of those is for this channel to expand and to be something that I continue with on my journey. Okay, that's all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.